Wow, the light has changed. The light has changed in here. Hang on. Can I make it brighter? Can we? I can, but I can't see myself. Hang on. Apologies. This is a messy way to start a live video. Oh, this is what happens in the winter when you haven't got any light. Okay. There we go. Cool. 2 for 1 time, everybody. No, there's not 2 of me, but I did just do a video on La Facebook. And you're getting another one from me right now. Hi, everybody. Hi. We're live. We're doing a tarot reveal today because I can. Because I want to. Oh my God, that ages you. Don't do that. Right. Hope everybody is doing well. It has been a hot minute since I've done a live video telling you guys. So we've just done a video on Facebook. We've just, me, myself, and I, the royal we, have just uploaded. I did a video and that's on Facebook, but it's also now on YouTube. So you can check that out after. But don't miss out because we're live and we're doing some tarot reveal fun stuff. We're gonna have some fun. It's been a while since we had a little bit of fun on this channel. Don't you think we need some fun? So, a little bit of a story behind this one. This is a tarot deck, which I don't do very often. I will do oracle decks fairly regularly because they're fun. But with tarot, I'm super fussy, like crazy fussy. And I actually ordered this deck just before my birthday on pre-order, and I lost it to Scotland, basically. It arrived after I had left. I'm never going to see it again. And I was like, great. Unfortunately for me, my sister bought me another one. So it came last week. I had a little private show and tell. That sounds kinky as fuck. A little private tarot with myself and a friend. Yeah, that's the mood we're in today. Da 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 da. Oh, no. Anyway, so this gorgeousness is the Antique Anatomy Tarot. It's by the same people same person, should say, who does the Oracle of Oddities. It completely went out my head then, which is why I bought it as a pre-order for my birthday present and then was rebought it by my sister and darling friend. And this is what it looks like. Look how gorgeous this is. It's so good. Right, and we're going to have a look at the box. I mean, the lighting. If we do a tilt, we're all good. Because we're in winter lighting, and I left my lighting upstairs. You know, the posh lighting that you can muck about with. I really shouldn't have. I didn't realize we were going to get dark quite this quickly. We got dark all of a sudden, ladies and gentlemen, to the point where you can't tell my hair is red. Sure, why not? So the Oracle of Oddities is one of my absolute most favorite oracle decks. It mixes the anatomical part, as you may have guessed, with beautiful flower work. Now, I will say you get one little box. It's not a particularly solid little box, and if I squish it, now I've took the cards out, I would break it. So if you're a big stickler for boxes, I'm not so bothered about that. The cards I freaking love. There is no booklet. Depending on where you are, where your path is, how you move around like this. You may hate this. You may love this. You might be like, that's a lot of work. And it is, because some of these are really difficult to get into. Some of them are fantastic, and I haven't spent a whole lot of time with them yet. So I'm just going to be revealing some of my favorites. So this is the back. Yes, that's it, camera. Do a complete fuzz out. That was lovely. Look how pretty this is. It's so gorgeous. And I will say there is a mortuary theme that runs through this, in that some of the brain work, please. Switch back on. I know it's got dark and my brain's like, sleep. Some of the minor arcana is mortuary tools. That's what I was trying to say. You're welcome for brain fuzzies. Brain fuzzy fuzzies. Oh god, I'm losing my marbles as if they were ever there. Now, the major arcana is hugely strong, so we may show most of these. And I will talk about some of my favorites. And actually, I think the Pentacles is possibly the strongest, which never happens in terms of the minor arcana. So the Fool is pretty cool, but I really want to show you the Magician. So this is the one that was on the front of the box, and you'll see what I mean about the gorgeousness inherent right here. We have a almost ellipsis, an almost figure of 8 from the spine. On the side, of course, would make the ellipsis the infinity symbol. There is a hand in various stages of decay, or looking through it in terms of anatomy anyway, moving up. So you can see the fingers are whole with all the skin on, and then you can see the muscles down here. And the muscles kind of fade into the flowers. It's all beautiful. Now, I will say there are some flowers in here. I'm not sure what they are, and I think that would add to the understanding of the cards themselves. So if you guys know, as we're going through and I go, I don't know what this flower is, and you can go, Joey, that's a flower, because a flower is a flower, and we can learn together. So there we go. That was the Magician. Oh, I was going to talk a little bit. Sorry. I was going to talk a little bit about how the energy, I'm so excited to be back live. I'm like losing my mind. So there are lilies here. Typical death flower, as well as, now, are they poppies? It's a bit dark in here. You might have noticed. We'll live the goth life. Anyway, no. I mean, no, they're probably roses. But the lilies are the stereotypical funeral flower, and obviously the Magician is taking your power, utilizing your magic, wielding forces around you. And that kind of spine into the infinity is really strong for that, because your spine is who you are based on, right? Literally, you are based on your spine. No? All right. I thought it was cool. I liked it. So as an analogy, like infinity comes from within. And the funeral flower of lilies is really beautiful. I will show you the Priestess because it's so unusual. It's not one of my favorites, but it definitely has Medusa written all over it. Look at that. It's a very, very powerful, very, very potent High Priestess. I'm not going to talk about it in depth because it's not one of my favorites. I'm going to talk about the Hierophant, though, because that looks like an Ogham to Joey. It may well not meant to be an Ogham, but it looks very much like an Ogham as well. What are the little flowers? What's that outside? It could be. I'm not entirely sure. It's got little blackberries. It's not an ivy. I'm pretty sure it's not an ivy. Yeah. Your power in your spine. And the Lovers. Okay, the Lovers is the only one that I think is actually a little bit weak, a little bit predictable, because it's the anatomy of a heart with all the beauty. I mean, it's beautiful. This is the Antique Anatomy tarot deck. It's beautiful, but it's a little bit stereotypical. I would have liked something a bit more, you know, a little bit different. Now, Wheel of Fortune, babies. Oh, yes. My macabre, my everything. I'm loving this image. So actually around the outside, you have the 4 minor arcana symbols. You have a compass on the inside with some very runic. I'm not sure if Little Tarot does or not. I don't think so, because I got this directly from her. The Black and the Moon is where she sells hers. No. Oh, Justice is cool. Right, so Justice, it took me a hot second. Not really, but can you see how this is half heart, half head, half mind, half brain with the daisies? It's powerful for Justice. The balance of heart and mind, because if we go too far in one way, it's not justice. You know, it becomes either vengeance or revenge, or it becomes cold and manipulative and cool. It's so clever. It's so good. The Hanged Man is awesome. Look at the hangman. Look at that hanged man. quote for the day. Look at that hanged man. What is the actual... Can I read the little thing? No. It's too dark, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you can only get her decks from her websites. It's the Black and the Moon. Okay. Death I love. And it's a prerequisite for me to love death. Look at that scythe action, ladies and gentlemen. Are you not feeling it? I am. And I really, really appreciate. The scythe in the center has the red roses. The ones at the other side have black roses. Okay, focus on the card, not me, please. And these two are on poles with that scythe, so it kind of feels like old death, new death, blood running into the roses. A little bit macabre, a little bit gorgeous. The devil is in the details. The tower is fun. Look at this. This is the tower. It's a tower of bone. Lots of decay going on, lots of black roses. It has a very plague victim feel to it, and some of these cards do have that I've forgotten what the exact phrasing is, but you know, the artistry from the Middle Ages, particularly around the subject of the Black Death, where they're very macabre and they have dancing skeletons and stuff. Some of them feel really that way. And I have to show you the star because bindweed, lady. This is why this is not why I bought the deck, but the minute I saw there was bindweed in it, I had a spasm and I had to have it. Look at the bindweed on the hand with the star, with the spinal cord in stars all around. Hello, beautiful. It's so good. I love bindweed. Bindweed gets such a negative kind of rap, but it's really powerful magic. It's a really incredible energy as a plant. Very destructive if you want it to be. But I love bindweed. I'm going to show you the moon and the sun at the same time because they're a pair, basically. Look how they are the reverse of one another. The back of the skull, the front of the skull, the circle above, if you like, or halo above, however you want to see it. Anatomy of the sun and the moon, maybe a symbol for both, is the spinal column again, and then the different flowers. Now, they look to be chrysanthemums for the sun. Let's have a look at the moon babies. I'm not sure about the moon babies. What do we think for the flowers? I'm assuming they're a nocturnal flower that represent the moon. I don't think they're iris. They don't look quite like iris. And then they kind of fold up like this down the bottom. Can you see the fold up? Anybody have any idea what those are? They're gorgeous cards anyway. I'll wait a second and see if anybody... The blue ones. Do you think they are irises? I'm not sure. Do irises fold in on themselves like before they reveal? Because I'm not sure that is an iris. Because I thought iris, but I'm not sure. I'm not 100%. This is what I mean. I need to check certain flowers in this deck because I was like, oh, I bet that would mean more to me if I knew what the flower was. I don't know. Contrary to popular belief, I don't know every flower, every tree. I'm like, yeah, if it's not native, probably not. And not all the time with every flower anyway. And Judgment is so good. So I was talking about earlier that there's this macabre plague victim historical. I don't think it's Belladonna. The way that it folds in like that. Are you sure it's a nightshade? I don't think it's a nightshade because of the stem. That doesn't look like a nightshade stem to me. Hang on, look. Everybody watching later is like, who is she talking to? I'm talking to the chat. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not Belladonna. It's definitely not Woodsy Nightshade because Woodsy Nightshade is far more pronounced. Because I collected a load this year. So anyway, this is the Screaming Children. Yay. Just what you want when you record. Lovely. Anyway, this is completely like, I'm coming out of the coffin. It's a prairie flower. Oh, okay. I don't know about a prairie flower. So this one looks like a passion flower. And I really should have looked up the Latin. Does anybody speak Latin? Benabel. See, Benabel turned up. Benabel probably speaks Latin. Hi. We have 8 ATE, Cuva, QVIA, Mosquitus dem Nechoram over. Any ideas? I have no idea. I'm actually tempted to sit here and Google it, but that would be super boring for you guys. It's probably something to do with life after death, I imagine. Because Demnech sounds like life after death. Day of the Dead, maybe? Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I'll look up the flower for my own, and probably somebody later will be like, it's a thingy flower, and we'll be like, cool. But we don't know right now. And then the world, being the final of the major arcana that we're going to look at. We looked at lots of them. Google Translate will probably butcher it, probably. So you have the whole world in his guts. He's got the whole wide world. Oh yeah, I can put the Latin in. Hang on. Sorry for this, guys. Later. Da 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 da. Dee dee dee. Somebody's husband speaks Latin. That's amazing. I don't. I wish I did. I tried once. It was a bit late in life to be learning Latin, I think. My brain's not the best at memory recall. Yes. Oh, the whole world in his guts. He's got the whole wide world in his guts. He's got the whole world in his guts. It makes sense when we see the next card. Okay. Sorry, I'm typing Latin. When I was younger, I was learning French, German, and Japanese. German I love. German is sexy as German just like it's just so anybody looking at the chat later, I have typed goodness knows what in Latin because somebody's hubby speaks Latin, so we're going to find out what that means. So we'll just do this card while we're looking at this, while we're waiting. I hope I typed it right, otherwise it's going to be interesting. So you can see that there is different kinds of skulls. Finnish is quite beautiful too, yeah. Like the Scandinavian sides and like the German and the Scandinavian language is really beautiful. I found out that I'm more Scandinavian than I am English in my DNA. For anybody who German does sound good in music. It also has this really wonderful ability, German music, to either sound like really like dark metal, like scary, or some of the pagan stuff sounds amazing, and yet it's quite light. So I've now got certain songs running through my head. Yes, this part. It was just Scandinavian. I am 18% Scandinavian or something like that. I'm half. It was 50% Irish, Scottish or and Welsh, 18% Scandinavian. Like I was something like 8% English, which was hilarious to me, and then the rest was Eastern European. We did that video on Chris's channel, so that video is up. And I'm trying desperately to show this card and getting completely distracted by chat. So yeah, there's different animal skulls down here. If the card would kindly... No? All right, fine. I give up. Swedish is bouncy. Okay. If you guys say so, that's what chat has informed me. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of each of the suits now. So this one's pentacles, although she calls it coins. And I will say that everything is tied around a mortuary theme. So some of the instruments, I don't know what they are because I probably need Chris for that. Chris, what is this mortuary? That's going to be our conversations for the next month. Chris, what's this mortuary instrument? What's it for? What's it do? Pity Chris for the next month, everybody. Or not, be jealous, whichever. So this is the first, this is the ace. And look how strong the coins are. We have pansies going on in the background here. And it looks obviously like a crest, like a house crest. If the camp there, beautiful, beautiful. And it's 2 lions, which is really cool. And it does actually have a crest. There's 4 bones around the outside and so on and so forth. And what's really cool, I'm not going to type all of the Latin in here, but this is the 2. Yeah, like a coat of arms. This is the 2, and there's actually Latin phrases. So there's a Latin phrase up here, and there's a Latin phrase down there. And it's the case for most of the coins, pentacles, that they actually have Latin in the coins. You guys, I'm trying so hard to concentrate on this. And everybody's talking about accents in the chat now. I'm glad you guys are all enjoying yourselves in the chat. That's great. So, cards throwing themselves. So most of them are quite similar now because the major arcana is much stronger than the minor arcana, but I think that's probably always the case. And the pentacles are just certain arrangements of coins. But I will show you guys the knight because I think the knight's nice and strong. That kind of reminds me of a Victorian mortuary kind of plate, like honoring death, very memento mori. The queen, she's very strong with the hearts on either side. And then the king, that looks like it could be Belladonna. Or no, sorry, that's Safflower. Never mind, it's Safflower. There you go. So we move into the rods, which would be wands. And now you get to see why I don't know my mortuary instruments, right? So this is a really strong image. This, I might know what this is, and I'm not saying it out loud because if I'm wrong. But there are mortuary instruments against the background of flowers, and it's really gorgeous. So this is wands. And then they're all different. So you have kind of like these sculpted mortuary instruments against, I'm pretty sure they're tiger lilies. And then like the scrapey ones. I do enjoy the scrapey ones with the poppies. Yeah, they are definitely all mortuary instruments. I know they are. I just don't know which ones are which. And then you have you have the drills. They're definitely, see, they're all different mortuary instruments. Now, I really like this one because this is the 5 of rods. Again, it's a bindweed on it, but it looks like the Ogham of the Sacred Grove to me as well. So sometimes this deck actually sort of draws on energies which it might not have meant to, but because I'm Celtic, basically, Celtic-ish, because I follow a Celtic path. Oh, there's crochet hooks. Really? I wouldn't know that. I don't crochet. So there you go. I'm going to have a look through. Maybe this one? Is that a crochet kind of hook? I don't know. I don't know about crochet. Not my bag. The rods are kind of strange. No, they're mortuary instrument. Oh, all right. Are they no scrapey ones? Give you a headache. Right. So there you go. We have the page. The page looks like he would be bouncing up and down on this mortuary instrument. It's really, it's like barbecue skewers. Well, they're probably no skewers, I imagine. Like get the brain out, like the ancient Egyptian ones. I'm guessing. I don't know my mortuary instruments. I feel like my goth card goes unfilled right now. I need to go learn some mortuary instruments. So then we have the knight. He again is sat atop, but he's jawless, which is interesting. So they sort of become part of the instruments. The Queen's pretty strong. There you go. And then the King. Sunflowers. Sunflowers have been stalking me. Well, I could ask her. She might be like, who are you? Who is this crazy person? I could try. So then we go on to blades. No blades, no bows. Leave your weapons here. There you go. So these are mortuary blades. Look how beautiful this is. Look how gorgeous the aces are. They're just so powerful. Some of the blades, I will admit, are incredibly morganic. Again, I'm fairly certain. Look at this. Look at this. I'm fairly certain these are mortuary knives for the most part. I love all like the cross blades. I think they're really strong. I might be showing myself as a blade freak right now, like getting some goth cred back. Oh, knives. No, I'm not like that. But I do like the aesthetics of some of these. This one's really strong. Look at this. That's really strong. With like this very different blade down the bottom. I'll try and hide myself. Look, I'm a blade. There you go. Yeah, I know there's belladonna in here. Right. So I absolutely adore these next ones. So we have the page. Oh, there's plenty of roses all the way through. Yeah. These are my lips talking below the card. This is really weird. Anyway. The Queen. Oh, no, sorry. That was a knight. This is the Queen. Queen of Blades, by the way, is what Chris always associates with Hel, and the goddess Hel, the Nordic goddess Hel. And I just thought how appropriate this is for the Nordic goddess Hel, like really appropriate. There is Latin on the cards. Mostly on the pentacles, though. There's a little bit in some other places, but it's mainly on thing. And then the King, which honestly, there's something incredibly pirate about this one. Like the other one, I was like, total Queen of Hell. Like, yeah, I can see that. And then this one kind of made me think like, yar, I've got a headache. Anyway. Yes, we've not got to the elixirs. Shh, spoilers. So elixirs are cups. Spoilers. These are some of my favorites too. I think these are really cool. Love Potion. It's not number 9 though, is it? Number 1. Love Potion number 1. I did ballroom dancing to Love Potion number 9 as a kid. Absolutely gorgeous. The elixirs are really fun as well because the different things on the labels. Yarrow tonic. I'm reading backwards. Fitzpatrick Pharmaceuticals Clover Blood Tincture. Maybe. I'm not 100% whether or not there is classification of each and every flower. Probably not. It's probably something you need to go find. Then we have Inexhaustible Salts, Sparrow Label Eau de Cologne, Grave Road, and Sparrow Labs Violet Water. And there are flowers for each one of the bottles on this one. I really love the labels on these bottles because while the bottles themselves are, I think it's to identify the themes of the coins. To identify the themes of the bottles, you have labels, and I really love that you're basically going into the card, figuring out what the labels are, figuring out what the Latin is on the cards, and you going and you are discovering that for yourself, because the majority of us, let's face it, are probably not going to speak Latin. So for the majority of us, it's going to be going and trying and finding out what these things are. So that's a really nice one. Nice arrangement of flowers there. Some nice brain tonic. Let's get to the page. There we go. So the page is still on the bottle. It's really cool. Eternal Youth Tonic for the page. I thought that was really cool. And then we have the Knight, which is the fertility tonic. Hello there. Yeah, there is this beautiful layering with the deck that on the surface of it seems quite simple. And then the more and more and more you get into it, the deeper layers there is. I found that with the Oracle of Odysseys as well, which I have all three. I love them. Beauty Elixir with some roses. There you go. For the Queen. And then the King is a calming tonic. the king ain't calm, apparently. He's got all the emotions. So overall, I'm really happy with this deck. Like, I think it's really beautiful. Some of the imagery blows my mind. You have the 3rd edition, but you want the other 2. I have all 3. I have 1, 2, and 3 of the Oracle of Odysseys. Some are repeated, which was a shame. But to be honest, I absolutely adore the Oracle of Odysseys, and I have it as a mega deck, and I use it as a mega deck, and mega death, no, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I actually found a stockist once she was out of stock herself that had the 1 and 2. I can't remember where because it was years ago. But yeah, I absolutely adore them, and they're my go-to Oracle deck. I love them more than any other Oracle deck, especially for working with other people. So I'm sure these cards are going to have the same kind of vibe to them as well. I love them a lot. I love them a lot. They might be a later in the dark tarot deck for some people because there is no booklet. Oh, the eyeliner's popping now. Now we've got super dark. Slowly fading into the darkness. I'm going to turn into a vampire bat in a minute and just out or something. I'm not, I promise. But you never know. It could happen, right? Stranger things have happened. But you don't get a booklet. Some of the cards are going to take a little time to get to know, I think. It's not going to be like an easy starter deck. How do people feel if you protect these decks? How do people feel if you protect these decks? Like how one protect TCG, shells, deck boxes, charging boxes, that sort of thing. I tend to go with cloth, depending on what the box is like originally. If it's a really good box, I will keep it in its really good box because I think that adds something. But when it's kind of like this, when they're kind of flimsy, that's not going to protect it very well. So I understand all the different reasons why people get different things, why people get boxes and things. I tend to put them in a nice cloth. Like I will buy a cloth that is appropriate for the energy of the deck. So I'd probably look at like a Halloween-y, skeletal, that kind of cloth for this, which is probably every cloth I own. So we're probably good. And wrap them up. And depending on how you connect to tarot decks, so you might wish to cleanse them, smudge them, ring the bells around them. And there's a tutorial on YouTube on how to make tarot boxes. She hates tucker boxes too. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate the box because it's still got this beautiful artwork on, but it's not gonna last. It's quite flimsy. Yeah, who are we talking about, Stella? Who has the video about making better tarot boxes? You could make your own box and make it a whole thing. You could, make it ritualized. You could get a box, you could paint it, decorate it, put sigils on it. You could do all that good stuff. What do the backs look like? Okay, there you go. That's what the back looks like. We're fighting with light now. Okay, cool. She'll drop the link in the comments after we're done. Neat. And you guys can check that video out. I might actually have a look at talking to you guys about maybe making your own boxes, putting your own sigils on it at some point in the future. When I get back into making videos again, really. It's not going to be my top priority, like I kind of said on one of my other ones. I was in the mood for videoing today, and I haven't been in the mood for videoing in about a year. So I was like, what is happening? It's the full moon. What's going on? I have energy. Yeah, well, there's definitely like an element of history to these cards, which I'm a history buff. I studied history at uni, so I really love good, juicy history, as opposed to dry history, because dry history, that sounds very English, very dry history. Very dry, darlings. It's very dry. If you teach history and it's dry, you're doing it wrong. Yeah, there's something weird going on with this full moon, because usually I'm like full moon energy. I'm better usually, and in the dark moon, that's when the energy, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm feeling all of this. And the full moon, I'm usually hiding, because it's too much. It's like too, and I'm like, no, blankets. And I feel very unwitchy, and usually at the full moon, but not this one. And it's a Gemini full moon, so I don't know what's going on. Is it the Mercury retrograde counteracting the Gemini? Because usually Gemini and energies in me are like, she's grabbing your starry-eyed supplies right now. Yes, go girl, get your starry-eyed supplies in the post. That's cool. I'm off to start cooking. A blessing. Okay, cool. Hey Faith, we're actually kind of wrapping up, to be honest. We're on the 36-minute mark, and you know what they say about YouTube videos? They're supposed to be 10 minutes long. How does anyone stick to 10 minutes? How is it just me? I just verbal diarrhea or something. I can't stop yakking once I start. Once you pop, you just can't stop. Anyway, so anyway, as I was saying, there's something weird going on this full moon. I'm full of the kind of this. I was tired this morning, and then I kind of woke up into this energy of I will wait until the postal strike is over before I order you again, Jerry. I get held up in postal strikes. Ugh. How do I feel about past life awakenings? That's a whole video unto itself. That's another 30 minutes worth of talking. I'm trying to find a way of putting it simply and quickly. I think that it's very possible that we are points in a great spiritual ecosystem, and it's very possible that we're actually living out many lifetimes at the same point, and our soul is more multifaceted than we think. So when we get like echoes of other lives in time, we're actually going across the spiritual ecosystem rather than it being one incarnation, then another incarnation, then another incarnation. Because I think time is probably not linear like we understand it. And it's just obviously a feeling of how this could all work. And it kind of like is like the brain, right? So you get like nerves firing off and you get memory recall and things like that. That's kind of how I feel about past lives. Do I think we've lived multiple incarnations? Yes, because what good is one incarnation? You're never going to learn very much in one incarnation, because specialization is the name of the game, I guess. Otherwise, you don't get to experience anything. You're like everywhere. So, yeah, I do believe in many incarnations, many experiences, the consciousness going beyond one incarnation. Yay! I'm glad you like the spiritual poetry. That's awesome. Send me a link so I make sure I see it, because YouTube is freaking useless and I don't get updates of people's videos at all. I'm impressed you guys saw me go live, considering I haven't done it forever. Yay, thank you so much. I'm so glad you like the book. Yes. If you guys are interested in the poetry book, that's still available on starryeyedsupplies.com, as is the physical version of the OM Affirmations, which just went live not long ago, and you can get a physical copy of that. It's a small beginner's introduction to Fluxy Affirmations. So that's also available right now, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this unboxing reveal. It was kind of more of a weird chat, a weird chat with tarot cards. That's what this ended up being. But this, you can also get the ebook yes, the ebook is available. I highly suggest a little coffee then if you're feeling really drained, because I felt quite drained this morning. Then I had some coffee and then I was fine. 40 minutes of me yakking nonsense at you. Anyway, I highly recommend this if you haven't got it. It's not a beginner's tarot deck, I don't think. Yeah, supplies in your hand. I hope you enjoy them, Faith. It's perhaps not a beginner's tarot. back to the line of the reasoning, but it is beautiful. It mixes the macabre, the anatomy, the flowers, the like hidden depths of tarot. It seems simple on the surface, but then you sort of dive into this well of underlayers of meaning with these cards. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love the Oracle of Oddities beyond measure, and the tarot cards are shaping up to be just as perfect. Again, thank you to my sister who made sure that I got a copy of these after I lost my last ones in Scotland. And that's it. You've got 40 minutes. 40 minutes of me yakking. I'm slowly dissolving into dark like this. Oh no, you can't see me because I got a thing. But I was like, look, we're slowly dissolving into darkness now. The English winter is here. I need to go get my light out for the next time I do a live video. It's been so long, I forgot. Thank you guys. I'm sorry you did. We've been going for 40 minutes. I need to stop because nobody needs to hear me talk for 40 minutes straight. Well, maybe people do, who knows. Thank you guys. I will catch you next time. There is another video over on the channel as well as this one. If you've watched this one and you haven't had quite enough yet, you crazy person. And see you all. Yeah, I feel a lot better. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.